Yo, Coven, you know we have a podcast to film, right? Hit me up.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
It is the two.
It's your favorite bitches.
I was
It's
gonna say
Coven.
two sluts, but
Oh, that
that's
works
a little
too.
aggressive.
I mean, let's take a deep look in the mirror.
Whoa. Okay then. But yeah, we're back.
It's Amber and
Coven.
woo woo.
Woo woo.
What are we talking about today, Coven?
Well, since you so rudely cut me off in our outro last video,
I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't watch that.
our video today is specifically discussing dating advice. And the plethora that we have taken over the years, but also how to deal with heartbreak and how to get through hard times in your relationship.
How to not. Don't do what we did, essentially.
I mean, I'm just saying right off the bat, I've never gone through a heartbreak before. I've never been through a breakup. Like, my current partner is the only partner I've ever had, and we started dating towards the end of high school.
Which I know sounds sketchy, guys, but I promise you they're actually really good to each other.
I swear. Like, so we went to different high schools, but we started dating right, like, in the very beginning of our senior year of high school. And we've been together ever since then, so I never got to fuck around and find out.
I fucked around a lot
And found out a lot.
If I don't yap enough in every other episode, we only have one other episode,
So far.
you'll find that we're equally yappers, but there's something about me that just, the need to yap.
It's the mental illness in it.
All right, Coven, so how do we want to start off this conversation? Because I feel like it's very, aside from you, I guess, you lucky duck, it's a universal experience.
Yeah. Well, I thought we'd start by reading the first story and either talking about, like, the advice that we would give this person or maybe something similar we've experienced.
Yeah, for sure. So Coven has, thankfully, because I don't know how to navigate Reddit, Coven has thankfully pulled up some Reddit stories
Reddit.
from what subreddit?
r/dating advice.
Oh, well, would you look at that? Tagline being, my family refuses to accept that I'm okay with being single and that I have zero interest in ever dating again. I want to start being as petty as them in driving this point. Any petty advice? I, 31 female, am completely disillusioned with relationships as a whole. I was in several 1 to 2 year long relationships and an 8-year relationship. Wow. I've also dated, in capitals, a lot. And I just haven't met anyone I'd want to spend the rest of my life with. Some of the men I've dated have been absolutely vile human beings, fair, and some just weren't a match.
Yeah.
A big reason I'm disillusioned is because I've seen the way my married friends get treated, the way my own mother and aunt got treated. I also have worked with mainly men in a male-dominated field for the past 10 years, and I see the way, quote, happily married men behave at the workplace towards other women, and it honestly makes me sad. Because all, in capitals, of them behave this way. I don't see the point in dating just to end up like one of these men's wives that get disrespected on the daily without even knowing it. I think that ship has kind of sailed, and I'm totally cool with it. I wouldn't trade places with any of my married friends that get treated like commodities either. But they have an economic necessity to stay in their relationship. Caption, a lot have tried leaving but can't afford to. Overall, my life is pretty great. I live in a beautiful townhouse, have a successful career, and a great group of friends and hobbies. I live with 2 kittens, and a cute-ass dog, and my life is overall full of happy moments and travels. It does get lonely sometimes, but overall I'm happy. My family refuses to accept that I'm not with somebody. I'll tell them about promotions or things that make me really happy, but they always twist the conversation back to me being single, as though they don't believe I'm happy. I also think they're embarrassed that I'm single, especially my mom. She always feels the need to make condescending comments about me being single in front of me to our family friends. For example, to her best friend whose daughter is expecting her second child, she'd say things like, I'm so glad your daughter is living a normal life unlike this one, while pointing at me. What a bitch.
I know, it's so fucked up.
Oh my god. Maybe a cultural mindset, while pointing at me, maybe a cultural mindset. My mom has never lived on her own or paid her own bills and doesn't have a career. Having a partner is defining for her. Trad wife. This past weekend, my family and friends and I went out for dinner with my aunt's family and my cousin-in-laws. When I arrived, there was an empty seat next to me. I asked if someone was coming. My aunt told me the empty chair is for my boyfriend and that she'd clearly told me to bring one. Here's a little breakdown of the last 3 men I've dated. Man number 1 told me he's on probation for being arrested for hardcore drug possession 3 months into the relationship. Pulled out a mini bong out of his pocket while I'm driving with him in my car and hotboxed my car in the middle of a crowded intersection at a red light in broad daylight. Turned out to also still be on hardcore drugs.
That's a soulmate right there.
Yeah. I mean, I could fix him. Number 2.
I can make him worse.
I could fuck this man up real good. Man number 2. I actually really liked this one, but then found out he lied about his age and was in a relationship, making me the other woman. I stopped talking to him, and he spent several months texting me in the middle of the night, probably next to his woman. Gag. Number 3, the everybody is dying guy who would use someone's death as a reason to ghost for 2 weeks at a time. Turns out he was on a cocaine binge. Can I say cocaine?
Yeah. On
a cocaine binge and a gambling binge. Cheated on his ex who had terminal cancer a month before she died. What the fuck? Unfortunately, it takes at least 3 months for a charming mask to wear off, and my family wants me to throw myself back into this dating pool. No thanks, I'm good. Since they're petty as hell about me being single, I'd like to get petty as well. Preferably in a funny way. Any ideas?
Okay, first of all, I think that we live in a society that is so, obsessed with love and relationships.
Oh, yeah.
God forbid someone, stay single their entire life.
I was gonna say, this woman knows what's up. Mind you, that's coming from both people who are happily, pretty much long-term. Like I said, it will be 4 years for me and my partner in a few months, and...
We just passed 2.5 years.
Yeah. We're a little ahead of them.
So I'm so sorry.
We're winning the race. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But coming from people who are in happy relationships, we're fully supportive of single people and people who choose to stay single.
Yeah.
My favorite example is my Uncle Joe, who's not really my uncle, but essentially a long-term family friend, and I call him my uncle because he is to me. My Uncle Joe, I'm so jealous of him sometimes because, he has a great job that he loves. He's a teacher. He could buy cool shit like drones and bread-making machines, which, by the way, I love my Uncle Joe's bread and literally anything he makes. He's a great cook, even a great baker, when he does attempt to bake. Mm-hmm. But, he's perfectly happy and content with his career and with his friends. And, I don't know why you'd want to take that away from someone. You don't need another person. Especially when you look at the cost of living, girl.
I'm just, well, obviously, I'm in a very happy relationship, and I'm very happy to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But, I saw, a tweet or a video. It might have been, originally a tweet or originally a video. Mm-hmm. But I think I saw the tweet. It was someone saying, men can't believe that women want to stay single because men don't want to stay single.
Oh, no, it was men can't believe women stay single out of choice because men don't have a choice.
Men don't stay single by choice.
Yeah.
I found that so funny.
I
was
also
a man-hating
find
lesbian. Trademark.
Trademark.
Thank you, Chappelle Rowan, for showing me the way. No, I'm joking. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting to stay single if you genuinely don't believe that you want to find, if you don't want to find someone.
Especially, how old is she? She said she was
31.
You're pretty established in life at that time, I would say. You're young enough that you can enjoy life. And also, you're young enough that, again, I don't want to sound like I'm forcing that you have to have a relationship.
Yeah.
But if you're young enough that you eventually do find someone along the way, then it was meant to be. Right?
Clearly you haven't found someone and you're content with not finding anyone.
Exactly. And if that's how you live your life, then that's an amazing way to live.
Exactly.
Especially because they say that they're traveling, they have a nice townhouse, an actual house to themselves is slay.
Like, if you've established yourself in your life and you don't feel the need to find, like, another person to share your life with, like, you have animals, you have a good paying job, like, you own a home, you, like, have a car, and you had no luck, then just, like, if you're comfortable staying single, then stay single.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand the families. Like, I understand the traditional thing. Like, I've come from a traditional Indian family where marriage is a very heavy thing. You know, my grandmother got married very young, and my mom actually kind of broke that because she married my father later in life. But it's also, I feel like she married later in life because she didn't find anyone, and then she was like, I should get married before I get too old to have kids, kind of thing. But like, if you're content with not having kids, not having a relationship like that,
everything's better than becoming a child of divorce.
Oh yeah. So yeah, can confirm. Like, the same thing as my mom. So my parents divorced when I was 13 years old. So about 7-8 years ago now.
Oh wow.
And honestly, like, I'm happy. Like, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change the way that my life turned out.
But you should never force another person into a relationship.
No. But I also, like, because my mom, so in the past 8 years, my mom has stayed single.
And she slays.
She does. Like, she told me, she's like, I have tried dating apps. Like, I've gone on a few dates, but nothing really had clicked. Like, she's like, I've been married for 13 years. I had 2 kids. Like, me, like, I turned 20 this year. My younger sister turns 16 this year. So we're still, like,
I can't believe my sister's gonna be 16.
Oh yeah, your sister. Like, we're old. Like,
we're old.
We're old, like, old and like that. Like, you don't have young kids to raise anymore. Like, essentially, like, I'm an adult. My sister will be an adult very soon.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah. And like, I remember asking my mom, and I was like, well, like, did you, like, is there a reason you don't? She's like, listen, like, I did it. I married a man. I had kids. I just want to buy a house in Costa Rica and retire there.
Dude! But my boyfriend's parents have land in Costa Rica too. Mm-hmm. It's a hit spot, huh?
That's my mom's dream, is to buy a plot of land and build a house in Costa Rica.
Tell her to build it.
They'll be neighbors.
I was gonna say, tell her to build it next to theirs.
Exactly.
So whenever I visit them, I can also visit your mom.
Oh my god.
I love Coven's mom.
It's so funny. But yeah, like, it's like, she's like, I tried. I did it. Like, I had a marriage, it didn't work out. I have kids that obviously I still care about, but like, they're adults and they need to fuck off at some point.
Yeah, Coven.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I still live at home. And she's like, I'm gonna. She's very, she's like, I want a bunch of dogs. Like, I want a bunch of dogs. I want a little dog farm.
Dog farm.
So many little dogs. She just wants to retire with a bunch of dogs in Costa Rica.
That is the dream life.
Exactly.
But anyways, as our lovely person who didn't ask for our opinion but asked for the opinion of Reddit, they want to be petty.
Advice. I think.
How do we be petty?
You find a college student, theater major, and be like, dude, I'm about to give you the role of your fucking life right now. Give them like $50 because we all know they broke as shit as college students. Can't confirm. And be like, I need you to convince my parents that it's better for me to stay single than to be in a relationship.
I need you to cause the biggest scene at my house.
Yeah, like I'll invite you over to dinner with my family and my aunts that really, really want me to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I need you.
We'll talk about how we've been dating for a while.
Yeah.
And you just need to show them that you're like the shittiest human being.
Grossest motherfucker ever.
Grossest. Shit on my mom.
Yeah.
not physically, but be like, you know.
Damn, man, this food fucking awful.
You've been married for this long and this is all you can cook?
Yeah, exactly. Like, get him some fake tattoos, like from the dollar store. Really shitty
JoJo
ones.
Siwa temporary tattoos.
Oh my god. That's
Old
iconic.
JoJo.
Old JoJo. Sorry for the rebrand, JoJo.
Sorry, JoJo.
But yeah, I think you just need to like convince them, like, find a fucking loser on the street.
Or, fun fact, if that's how much of mind you, again, the pettiest you can be is to cut them off.
Yeah, that's true.
In my opinion, I'm a firm believer that family is important. Yes, to a certain extent. If family is causing you more harm than support, that's not fucking family, right? True family, true people who would love you would just accept that you're happy and be happy for you.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but if they can't accept that, then don't fucking talk to them. See what happens.
Yeah, see how far that gets you.
See how far that gets you. See how fast they either switch up, or if they don't switch up and they just ignore you.
That is better.
Then that is better, because then there you go. At the end of the day, all your mom cared about wasn't about you, but was about having grandkids.
Exactly.
It's because at the end of the day, especially because, again, I'm assuming things, but when it seems the fact that it's a very traditional family, she doesn't really care about you being happy and married.
Yeah.
She cares about you being barefoot and pregnant in a kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they're really stressing.
Mm-hmm. They want you to be a traditional wife. You're like, I have a career, like, I live my life for me, not for a man or anyone else.
Exactly. Or to have kids, which is another thing, too. Like, if you don't want to have kids, don't have kids.
Exactly. If you know
the world's overpopulated.
It's true. Yeah, Amber.
And that's coming from somebody... Yeah, exactly. Kevin's calling me out. That's coming from somebody who does want kids in a big family.
Yeah.
When I can afford them.
Exactly.
Have kids responsibly.
When you know that they will be well supported.
Yeah. If I can't afford to buy them new shoes and take them on the school field trips, then I don't want to have them.
Exactly.
Right? But yeah, just don't talk to your family, bro.
Exactly. Okay, we have our second story.
Do you want to read?
I will. This one is called No More Single Moms for Me.
What?
I laughed audibly when I found this one.
We need the MILF population.
That's
the only thing I'm worried about, people not getting pregnant no more. The MILF population.
The population go down. I broke up with my girlfriend this morning. I'm 29, and she's 25 with a 7-year-old son.
Ooh.
I just couldn't do it anymore. Had started dating since the beginning of the year, and the kid was a burden every step of the way. His dad isn't in the picture, so all he has is his mom. I get it. But everything we did, and I mean everything, revolved around this kid. Date nights of just the two of us had to be planned out months ahead. Outings were pretty much always us three. We were intimate once. We had one weekend outing while the kid was stayed with grandma. Jesus Christ. And even those 24 hours, I remember the kid called his mom every 3 hours and had multiple tantrums. The kid is adorable, and I initially really liked him, and honestly wanted to make it work. But as time went on, I realized the kid was only lovable if everything was centered around him and his needs. Amber. The breaking point was our outing yesterday. The three of us went to a park, not much else to do, and had lunch. The kid interrupted us every 5 minutes, literally timed at some point, and overall was clingy to his mom, which is always the case. We can never display affection around him except for holding hands, and even then he's literally gotten in the middle of us, so we can't do that. I got him a toy from a store before heading home, and we got in a drive-thru to get coffee. The kid started yelling he's bored and started hitting the window. I tell him sternly not to do that. We were in my car. And a minute later, my girlfriend, annoyed, told me not to get mad at him because he didn't know. Really?
He's 7. That's first grade.
Yeah, he's 7. Like, you're not, 4.
Yeah.
When we get to her apartment and the kid sits on the couch and puts on Hulu, I'm talking to my girlfriend in the kitchen and he tells us to be quiet because we're watching a movie. Okay. She moves us to the bathroom to, quote, show me what the plumber did, and as soon as we get in there, we start making out. I stop and ask her, why are we making out in your bathroom? Can you tell him to go to his room for a bit? And she replies, he's already watching TV and won't be able to get him off of it. And I already know from experience we can't go into her bedroom because he barges in. And starts nagging his mom for attention. At that moment, I had the realization that if I want to continue with this relationship, I would be at the mercy of a 7-year-old boy and whatever he wants. So I excused myself. A few minutes later, and this morning, I met her up for coffee and ended the relationship while the kid was in school. I was told I was being selfish and that as a single mom, she was always going to put her kid first, and I knew what I was signing up for. For the record, I've dated single moms, and the kids were never this much of a problem. I didn't want to argue and just said, sure, I guess I am a selfish person, but I'm not going to let a kid dictate what we cannot do in an adult relationship. And I left. She posted later on her social media that all men are the same.
Oh.
Literally every negative thing attached to single moms applied to my case. The kid always came first, and she had no problem telling me that. Because I'm not the father, it's not my place to tell the kid what to do. He can tell me to be quiet. On the flip side of that, I can spend money on him, though, and already told me what I could get him for Christmas. it's not even the kid's fault. She lets him do whatever he wants. And the excuse is, he doesn't have a dad, okay? So, the world does not give him a pass for that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. That kid isn't getting a dad anytime soon. Anyone considering dating a single mom, definitely take what happened to me in consideration. I know everyone's different, and I can honestly say I gave it a shot, but I don't see myself dating a single mom again.
Oh I have so much to say.
Go ahead.
I have opinions.
And everyone needs to hear them.
That's why we have podcasts.
Exactly.
So, here's the thing. Straight off the bat, not to sound like a people pleaser, but I fucking agree with him.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
I would agree.
Because here's the thing. With single moms, they're great. They're very powerful people. Raising a kid is a fucking feat with two people, let alone all by yourself.
Yeah.
While also trying to deal with heartbreak, or sometimes for some people it's domestic situations.
Mm-hmm.
Raising a child, especially on your own, is a fucking accomplishment. And if you are a single mom, I applaud you. But I do understand that with that comes very protectiveness towards your children.
Oh, yeah.
Which I understand why their children, and why they tell people who come into their life that their kids come first.
Yeah.
Which should be expected. After going through what they went through, for whatever story that might be, their kids come first because they want their kids to know that they don't have anyone but them and they're going to be there for them always.
Yeah.
However, when you do decide to invite somebody in your life, that relationship also is important. If that makes sense. I'm trying to find a way to word it. Like when you start a relationship with someone and you're like, hey, my kid comes first. Absolutely your kid comes first. But that doesn't mean the relationship should mean nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I get, intimacy is important for some people. And that is something that you should discuss with your partner.
Yeah. When
you get into a relationship. Like, because for some people it's not important at all. Everybody has different love languages, right? But, gosh, I'm trying to find a way to word my words without sounding like an asshole to single moms. Because I really do think that they're amazing. That relationship is also important. And it sounds like they're not putting work into that relationship. Like, their kid comes first. Mm-hmm. Which is fine, but it sounds like the kid is 7.
Yeah.
And what it sounds like is that they've coddled them too much to the point that they're spoiled.
Yeah.
Which 7 is still, again, this is going to sound really crappy of me, but 7 is a very moldable age. Mm-hmm. That's first grade. They're fresh out of kindergarten, starting, like, actual grade school.
Yeah.
Like, they're still at a moldable age where, yeah, they're going to throw temper tantrums, but you can keep them in place. I don't know. I feel like he has his reasons, and I don't think it's selfish for him to leave. Because, again, he has needs in a relationship as well.
Yeah.
But I also see the single moms pointing... Mind you, her shit-talking him on internet is kind of crappy. Like, girl, come on.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's not tasteful no matter what the relationship is. But now, how do you feel?
I do agree with him. I think that this was, like, obviously putting your child first in a relationship is something that's going to happen. You birth this human being. Like,
yeah.
You are bonded to this child for the rest of your life. But this is also a very clear case of, like, misparenting.
Yeah.
Like, you're always like, oh, like, because you're just letting this kid rule your life now. Like, the mom is letting this kid
If I told my mom and, like, her and my dad to shut up or, like, to be quiet because I'm watching a movie on first off, the streaming service that they pay for?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the European. But, the wooden spoon I'd get to the back of my ass so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And then that TV would, or Hulu or whatever the fuck, I think it was Hulu.
That TV would be thrown out the window.
Oh, gone.
Yeah.
Gone. I was hit as a kid. And mind you, I don't believe in it. And that, like, I don't believe in hitting kids. I think there are other ways that you can discipline kids that don't involve physical reprimandation.
Sometimes you just want to grab their faces. And slam them into the wall.
Kevin does not want kids.
I do not want kids.
But no, like, that obviously is a kid who has never heard the word no.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but a part of parenting is, like, being, like, hey, I want to have another relationship, and I want to be able to, because obviously if she's dating people, then she wants him, or she wants
like, she had her kid when she was, 18? So, like, you still have your entire life ahead of you. Like, it's not fair
No.
to let him just like rule your life.
No.
She was 17.
Oh.
But like that, like I understand you being like, this is my son and I want to give him the world. Like I want to show him the world and let him be happy. But there also does become a certain level of responsibility to reprimand your child.
Yeah.
To show them that there are consequences to their actions.
Not everything revolves around
Exactly. Like you can have what you want, but it shouldn't be an expectation.
Yeah. It's not an expectation.
No, exactly.
I'm sorry, like, especially some of these iPad kids, some of the people I've dated, some of their little siblings. Oh, yeah. I've had some partners who have had, I've had partners who had siblings as iPad kids, and then I've had, like, iPad kids as family members.
Yeah.
It's like, no respect for others.
Oh, no.
So much self-entitlement.
Yeah.
They're hypersensitive to everything. Like, I know we're getting a little off topic from dating advice, but I think before you start dating people, you gotta not fix your kid, but teach your kid
how to be
some
a
manners
responsible person.
and how to be a decent, respectful human being.
Yeah.
Like, again, I work retail. I work at a great store to work at. I do love the company, actually.
Yeah, and you're braver to saying what company you work for.
You know how many are?
Yeah, okay, you work at a pretty big chain.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can narrow it down because now we're in Toronto.
Yeah.
Which means there's maybe only two. Okay, maybe I did fuck myself.
Yup.
We'll see if we bleep that out. Please don't come after me. I have too many people doing that already.
Preying on your downfall.
Preying on my downfall, watching my every move, making multiple social media accounts because I ghosted them.
Amber's a real catch.
I've got some stories.
She got all the bitches.
Not that I don't want them. Like
the bitches are the stalkers.
Me and Gavin will go out and people will come up to me and compliment me, and like it's sometimes it's creepy and sometimes it's genuinely sweet. Daniel at the bar.
Oh, I remember this.
You weren't there for that.
I wasn't there, but I heard the story.
Daniel, if you're out there, I'm so sorry that I was leaving the bar and this guy came up to me and he's like, "Hey, Daniel," and I'm like, "Amber," or whatever, like I'm saying hi, and my boyfriend's watching this play out to see what happens because he doesn't like he likes to watch. He thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Watching people ask me out and then getting shut down. Yeah. Like he takes pride in it as cause he's a man. Yeah. But this guy was like, "Yeah, it was so like it's nice seeing you," and I was like, "I never met this motherfucker, by the way." But before he could, like, ask me anything else, the security guard was like, "You gotta go back upstairs. You can't block the hallway." And I left, because obviously I was waiting for my Uber. Daniel, I'm so sorry that I didn't even get the chance to tell you I'm sorry and no. But, Daniel, if you're out there, your bravery is respected.
Yeah. There was one time me and Amber were walking kind of close to where she lives in Toronto.
The construction guy!
We were crossing the road, like on a crosswalk to the bus stop on the other side of the road. And this like construction guy, like probably like in his like late 20s, early 30s, comes up and just goes, "So you two a couple?" And I'm assuming it's because we both look pretty gay. Or no, we complimented your hair.
He complimented my
your
pigtails.
Like, because Amber has long, bright red hair, and they were in pigtails.
As of recording this.
Yes.
Subject to change.
Yeah. And so he was like, "Dude, like, I love your hair," and she was like, "Oh, thank you." And he's like, "You two a couple?" Like, looking at the two of us. And Amber was like, "Oh, no." He's like, "Great, how old are you?" And Amber's like, I'm 17. She was not.
I was like 19.
You were like 19.
He just goes,
"Oh shit!"
and leaves.
And he runs to the other side of the road. I was like, "Damn, you should have just committed and said we were a couple at that point."
Long story short, I have a lot of unwanted riz.
Yeah.
Mostly for men, but some women. There have been women at my work who have asked me to come to orgies.
Really?
I never told you that?
No.
There's this one woman who I was helping her in the back of the store, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm helping like an orgy." She's like, "You seem like you really have the vibe. Like, you should come. It would be so much fun. Like, you seem so much fun to hang around with." And I was like, "Okay, maybe for coffee." An orgy is wild to say that I have a vibe.
Yeah, you just look like you love.
You get a lot of like selling sex and of the sort, you get a lot of compliments, or not compliments, but you get a lot of comments like that, and I've learned to deal with it, but like the fact that it happened twice, because the other time was just like a woman being like, she was saying she was getting stuff for her birthday party, but her birthday party was an all-girls birthday party, and she was quoting Ashley Nico, she was like, it's gonna be all-girls party, clothing optional. She's like, if you wanted to come and meet my friends, you seem really fun. I get the comment, you seem really fun.
Great way to start a birthday party.
Well, I was gonna say, a lot of people come up to me and say, you seem kind of like really fun. And I don't.
Kinky.
Yeah, I feel like that's what that code is for. I'm sorry, Mom. Don't date single moms if you can't deal with kids. Exactly. Single moms, please.
Be ready for a relationship if you're gonna enter one.
Exactly. Do we want to do another story?
Yeah.
All right.
I have a bunch. I have 3 more. Let's go.
Okay. Story number 3. Is this cheating? Any story that starts off with "Is this cheating?"
is probably cheating.
All right. I've been in a relationship with this girl for almost 2 years now. She had broken up with me 4 months ago because her mom hated me as I wasn't doing too well career-wise. You spelled the wrong 2. We got back together 2 months after the breakup. Okay. I tried getting more clarity about the breakup, she always gave me blanket answers or gets really uncomfortable and changes the topic of the conversation. A while back, she told me that she wants to tell her mom that she's back with me. That didn't make any sense to me, as her mom was the reason we broke up in the first place. We had multiple fights about it, but in the end, she ended up telling her mom about us. Last week, I had the chance and went through her phone. Not really proud of this. The things I found on her phone were truly horrific. The real reason why she broke up with me was because she wanted to pursue the possibility of dating her guy best friend. She had made She had made a full-blown pros and cons list comparing me and that guy a month before we broke up.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, but wait, if you're pulling out fucking pros and cons list, break up with the person.
Yeah.
She went for clubbing with that guy a day before we broke up, and I had a great time. Had a great time. And that is when she thought that he might be into her as well. A few weeks after we broke up, she asked that guy out, and turns out he just saw her as a friend and nothing else. After all this, she went out with another guy who turned out to be a dick. Well, not a dick. He just wanted to be friends with her.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a dick for, like, if you're establishing that I'm your guy best friend. He's one of the few guys that actually just wanted to be friends with her. This is when she decided to give me another chance. All this feels really weird. I don't know what was real anymore. I feel betrayed. I get it that nothing happened between them physically, but can't get over the emotional infidelity. Part of me feels like in the end she came back to me, so it doesn't really matter. Or so does it really matter? But part of me is also really scared about being so replaceable. How long until someone else comes along and she does the same thing? What should I do? Dump her ass! Dump her ass! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But the thing is with love, if you truly love someone, you're not thinking about someone else.
Exactly.
If you're comparing your current partner to somebody else and you're actively thinking of going with somebody else, break up with that current partner because you obviously don't love them enough to stay.
Well, that's what she did. But it just didn't work out, so she's not going back.
Exactly. Which is also fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because now it's just, you're just the friends with, essentially you're friends with benefits that I have when I'm not in a relationship.
Exactly.
Which is fucked up.
Like, that's, technically, is it cheating? No, because she broke up with him, but it is still infidelity. Like,
it's still a betrayal.
Yeah. Like, the fact that you thought about this, like, before you broke up, and then, like, she tried it and was basically like, oh, my other option didn't work, so I guess I'll go back to you.
That's huge fucking red flag. Leave. Don't put up with that. Please. No. You deserve, I'm assuming, I don't know what the fuck this person is, but I'm assuming you're a good human being, and nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves to feel replaceable.
Yeah.
Right? You are a human being with emotions. You're not an object.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like someone would, I'm not saying have somebody die for you, but if you don't feel that, if you feel that replaceable, or if you feel like you're that replaceable, that's an instant leave. You should have, everybody deserves someone who cherishes them, who makes them feel special, who makes them feel wanted.
Yeah.
Right? Leave her.
Leave her.
Plain and simple.
That's what you gotta do.
Plain and simple. Leave her ass.
Story number 4. He expects me to be okay with a physical relationship while emotionally bonding with others. Me, 30 female, and my interest, 33 male.
Keyword interest.
Have been in each other's lives physically since 2020. Throughout the years, we've acted like a couple, gone on dates. I met a close friend of his, he met my sister, we went to a festival together, hand-holding, kissed in public, etc.
Oh.
But never added a title. When I'd mentioned I would like to pursue more, his response was always something like, I can't right now, or I don't have the capacity to give you what you deserve at the moment.
Oh.
Eventually, we started getting into some disagreements because of inconsistencies, and him thinking me expressing how I feel was me trying to argue.
I hate that.
I hate that too. A few months ago, we talked and I mentioned I would like us to rebuild and reconnect emotionally and see how things play out for us. He was on board, or so I thought, and he said he was open to it. Recently, I went over to see him late at night and was surprised he did not offer to walk me to my car at 11:30, like he's always done before. I explained that I would like for him to do this because it's a respectful thing to do when it's late outside. He misinterpreted that and thought I was arguing. In the last few months, he often tell me he has no time or capacity to see anyone or establish anything romantic with anyone. However, last night he admitted he plans to spend time with an ex-girlfriend who cheated on him before and has plans to go on a date with an ex-fling. All while I was wanting to keep a sexual relationship with me.
No.
Am I overthinking how untruthful he is? It was never about wanting to date anyone. It was about not wanting to date me and expecting me to be okay with having sex while he's emotionally bonding with other people.
No, absolutely not. Very similar to the first story in a way where you are being used temporarily. You are here as an object. You are here for me to sleep with.
Yeah.
Have maybe like physical connection with. But I don't want to have to deal with your feelings.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to deal with actually, like, being in a relationship, at least with you. You're not overthinking it. Nobody fucking deserves that.
I think you did kind of set yourself up for failure when for the past 4 years of your life, this guy had shown no interest of wanting to do anything else but sleep with you, and still be like, I should give him a chance.
Yeah, but I can't speak to that. I'm hypocritical.
You definitely deserve better. Like, this guy's kind of a dick.
Kind of?
Yeah, a lot.
Huge dick.
You deserve better. And
huge dick to compensate for the fact that he doesn't have one.
Exactly. The best course of action would be to stop. And, like, I understand if you do truly love him or you do truly care about him, that is another obstacle you have to get over.
I was going to say, because you've probably developed a one-sided relationship where you feel emotionally connected with him. But physically, cut him off. Cut him off from sex. Cut him off from kisses.
We had a real-life version of this.
Oh, we did!
Sorry,
when I cut people out of my life, I forget they exist.
Yeah. We had a quote-unquote couple who...
What if they hear this? Can we say this?
There's no fucking way they're gonna find them.
Yeah, they will.
No, they won't.
They hunt me down on Instagram.
That's true. Well, they won't know it's about them.
Okay.
We had someone who were like this, and it was kind of sad to see. And so it was just really sad because I did generally feel bad for the person who was kind of definitely in this one-sided relationship.
Because you could tell that he was really, really into this girl. He was so into this girl, and this girl did nothing but sleep with him and then refuse a relationship.
Yeah, and you could tell like that he every time she was like, "We're not a couple," he like looked heartbroken.
His heart would sink.
Yeah.
And like I remember trying to tell him, being like, you know, it's not right. I was like, I understand that you love her, I really do, but that's not right for you. He was heartbroken. And it broke my heart, like, seeing him put so much time and effort into a relationship only to be used for sex, essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas the other person used him for sex and then complained sometimes, too.
Yeah, about, like...
having to deal with the after effects and aftercare, which is so fucking important.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, especially, and I don't think the older generations did a lot of things right. They fucked up a lot of things. But they did have some sort of proper dating, in a way. And I feel like nowadays, hookup culture.
Situationships.
Benefits.
Dating apps.
Like, quick and easy access to sex, it's lost its meaning. Mm-hmm. It really has. Sex is... This is coming from, again, a sex-positive person. I'm not saying you have to have, like... I'm not saying you have to love someone and date someone to have sex. Be a single person. Go out and have sex. Safely, please. Go out... Let me restate this. Go out and have sex safely and consensually.
Yeah.
Go, like, especially, like, in college. Not me personally, but my friends. Go out, meet people, have sex, whatever, as long as you're safe and consensual. Do not have sex with somebody and then convince them that you're just not ready for a relationship.
Yeah, because clearly, like, this guy was ready for a relationship.
This guy was so ready.
Yeah.
This guy was planning, like, mind you, again, when we would all plan weddings about our partners, they would plan weddings with this person even though they had no label.
Yeah.
I was like, dude. It just breaks my heart. Please don't do that.
Yeah. It does suck. But at the end of the day, you just have to, like, really pick yourself up and be like, I don't want to live like this anymore.
You gotta stand up for yourself. You gotta look deep down inside yourself and just be like, hey, I want a relationship with you, and if you don't want to date me, that's fine. Like, we can still have, with some healing, we can still have a friendship because I still want you in my life.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to date me, then I'm not going to keep giving you access to my body.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm a firm believer that, again, like I said, you can go out and sleep with whoever you want. Right? Go, have fun, be free, safe, consensual, two main things. But also, don't let it lose its meaning.
Exactly.
Because when you do find somebody that you love, again, sorry, Mom. Again, I've had sex with people that I haven't really dated.
Yeah.
I've had sex with a few women. But nothing felt like when I have sex with my partner.
Yeah.
Right? Like, truly caring and loving for somebody, having sex with somebody you truly care and love for is very different.
Yeah, like, I would know all about that.
if it's one-sided, I feel like you're robbing that person of that experience. If you are not ready for a relationship and you just want sex, don't do it with the same person unless you have both consented to the fact that you both don't want to be in a relationship.
Exactly. And
you both like a friends with benefits situation. Mm-hmm. Unless consensually both partners have agreed to only have, like, maybe a platonic relationship involving sexual intimacy.
Yeah.
That's fine. If one person has expressed that they have romantic and deeper feelings for you, and you just want sex,
that's when you need to cut it off.
You need, even the person, like, failure on both parties. Because if someone came to you and said that they want a relationship with you, you fucked up. Like, failure on both parties. Both parties need to work that out. Because you, as a person who just wants sex, should have stated from the beginning that this is what you wanted. This is why talking boundaries and expectations are so important. It's so important. And not just first and I'll say that too. Again, we're getting a little off topic, but I'll say it again too. Even in a relationship, a long-term relationship, talking expectations and boundaries, those things change.
Yeah, definitely.
So it should be a conversation that is constantly happening.
Yeah.
Still have that person in your life if you want to work towards that, but don't give them your body.
From what I sound, this guy sounds like an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, don't even be friends with him.
No. Don't.
Like,
He sounds very flip-floppy and flaky.
Yeah.
But Coven thinks that of all men.
Oh.
I'm joking.
No, you're right.
You love Tommy.
Okay, yeah.
Tommy's my partner.
Yeah, well, I like Tommy because I actually know him more than just the surface level of, like, man.
That's fair.
Like, when I walk...
You know him as a person, not just as a man.
Exactly. Like, I most... Like, when I'm walking on the streets of Toronto, when I just see, like, a man and woman...
Amandem.
Toronto mandem. I see them walking on the streets, and I'm like, oh... I'm sorry, I
just look at a man and go, oh.
We need to wrap up this video.
Oh my god. We didn't even get to talk about our heartbreak.
That's actually our next episode.
We'll make that our next episode.
That is our next episode.
We're making this shit up on the fly, but slay!
But yeah, guys, our next episode we will be talking about how to deal with heartbreak properly, and
I'll tell you more about that C character.
Oh yeah.
Because that was my big first heartbreak.
I'll tell you more about...
If you are listening to this, which I don't think you are, because I don't even know if you fell off the face of the earth, which is fine.
We'll find him.
Please, we interview him?
Oh my god!
How does it feel to know your ex-girlfriend had a huge glow up? I don't hate you. You're cool. I'm so paranoid that people who I know are gonna listen to this.
No one's gonna find this. Ever.
No.
It's okay.
My ex wasn't like the biggest piece of shit, but it is a good example of how to deal and how not to deal with heartbreak.
Exactly.
So with that being said, this entire episode has been perfectly dysfunctional.